Good morning. It's the fourth interview in my series this week, looking at amazing women who are rocking it with video in their businesses. So today I've got a treat for you. We have the amazing Julie Creffield. Hi, Julie.
Hey.
Oh, still got your comment up. How you're so excited about coming. So who is Julie to start with? Now, Julie had massive success building up the Fat Girl's Guide to Running. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? And now she's turned that, how she did that, and teaches other people to build amazing tribes themselves, and has a community called the Tribe Builder. So we're looking today at how she's using video in that, and how she feels about video, and how she started out with video in the hopes to inspire other people watching, because it can really feel sometimes that we all started out with these just amazing skill set, but we didn't. We all started somewhere. So we're going to talk to Julie today. So if anybody's got any questions, I've got questions for Julie, but if anybody else has got anything else they want to add, pop them in the comments. If you're watching on replay, just put hashtag replay and still put them there. Me and Julie can come back and check in on them. Right. So good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Well, it's not morning today. You're my first afternoon interview. So tell us, in a nutshell, tell us about the work you're doing. So no focus on video at this point. We'll get into that. But just tell us in a nutshell about the work you do and who is it for?
Yeah. So I'm a community engagement strategist and business mentor. And so what that means is I help people to build community around their business. And I've been doing community engagement for more than 20 years, 25 years. But in the real world, you know.
I was going to say, because that was before video was a massive thing.
Absolutely. So I started off as a drama practitioner. I worked as a choreographer. I did a lot of kind of community engagement around the London Olympic Games. I've become an expert on volunteer recruitment. And I helped to recruit 70,000 games makers for the Olympic Games. So my thing is always about how do you build an army of followers and supporters and advocates around a simple idea.
Yeah.
And so when you think about the Olympics, how do you get 70,000 people to give up their summer to work for free? I mean, that's inviting, but actually when you tell people a dream of this is going to change your life and be an incredible experience that you'll be telling your grandkids about, then everyone wants to do it. So it's about kind of positioning and bringing people together around a kind of shared vision. And you know, it's like it can be really lonely as a business owner.
Yes, especially in lockdown.
You know, creating a tribe, for me, it was like, right, I want to create a tribe of business owners who use the tribe while they're building their own tribe. And so that is where the idea for Tribe Builder came. So what I teach on Tribe Builder are all of the kind of old school audience building techniques that I learned when I was doing drama things, when I was going into housing estates and you know, had funding to do programs, but no one wanted to work with me. It was like, how do you reach people? And actually most of our clients are quite hard to reach. So I use a lot of kind of traditional audience building techniques and my creative skills. You know, I'm a creative at heart, you know, and interestingly, I started off as a drama practitioner, but when I was at university, we did one module on film and I fell in love. I was because just, I don't know, I still had, particularly when I was a youngster, I still didn't really want to show up. So I was interested in choreography and devising. I never wanted to be the front of stage. I wanted to.
So that gave you the chance to be the planner, the choreographer behind the camera. Yeah.
And so at the time, I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a video camera. I didn't have any kit. And I actually went on to do a master's in multimedia, still without a laptop, still without access to a video camera, you know, and to think that I was learning about all these techniques and ideas around how people use technology, and I wasn't even able to test it out myself because I just had no kit. I was so bloody poor, you know. I had to university's kit, but you know, it was a really good foundation for what I'm now doing. I didn't use it for a long time, but it's very useful now.
And it's crazy how accessible it is now. Like anybody, there is no there is a barrier to entry because you need a smartphone. But once you've got a smartphone, there's nothing stopping you but yourself from kind of like picking up and going live. So I think that's what's exciting about it now. It's like bringing it to the masses.
Mm.
So tell us then, in that journey, what do you love about doing that work? What's your favorite parts to it?
I I have a million ideas, right? I've always been an idea generator.
Yeah.
And there's so many of those ideas that I can bring into fruition because there's only
Yeah.
so many hours in a day. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that I love most is when my clients tell me about a problem that they've got and I come up with a creative solution for it. And I will say, I've got this idea. And I'll tell the idea and everyone goes, oh my God, it's such a good idea. And it's almost like a gift. I can just gift it to them. And so there's no holding my ideas to myself because I might use them at some later date.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my superpower, is ideas. So that I'm always going to come up with new ones. So it feels great to be able to gift one of my clients an idea and then see them grow it and it scale. And often their businesses are great, but there's something lacking in terms of getting everybody to get it,
Yeah.
and to be able to stand out amongst all the other people that do something similar. And sometimes it's just a tiny concept and everyone goes, oh, I get it now, I want to be part of that. So that I love seeing is a tiny seed of an idea just grow and grow and grow, and people get behind that idea, which is how we had to run. I mean, that was such a simple idea. It started with me going, why when I buy a running magazine does nobody look like me?
Yeah.
Why when I go to races, why am I coming last? Why, there were all these things I was going, why can't I get running trousers in my size? There's all these things. So I started blogging about it. And before I knew it, I had like hundreds of thousands of followers reading my blog. And I never meant for that to turn into a business, to be fair, but I got made redundant and I was like, well, it's quite popular. Let me see if I can make some money from it. And it just grew and grew and grew. And I realized I used a lot of the skills that I had, from previous jobs and stuff to grow that community to the size that it is.
Oh, I mean, and I imagine the impact that has on the world of all these women feeling like they are included, they can take up exercise, it is okay, is just massive in itself as well.
And I realized it wasn't really about the running. People just felt, she hears us, she sees us, and so it's not that I got bored with that business, but I realized that the business still runs, it's still growing, it's still thriving. But actually, I didn't want to just be known as a runner. And that's what people were going. They're going, oh, it's Julie. She's the one that teaches fat women to run. Like, that's all she is. And I was like, no, there's so much more to me. And people were often coming to me and saying, how did you do that? Can you teach me how to do that?
And you're like, yes, I can. Come in.
And that's when I started kind of dabbling in more kind of business coaching, and I did a little bit of life coaching for a while as well, and did a TEDx talk about living a bigger life, just being yourself in the body that you're born in, that kind of stuff. But I really feel like I've really niched down now on the community engagement stuff and tribe building, and it feels good. It feels like a good place to be.
Good. And just going back to you saying you have loads and loads of ideas, you were never going to stick in one business, where you probably in 5 years' time you'll be on your 17th. So bringing it back to video then, where are the main places that you're using video in your business right now?
It's funny because when I first started Too Fat to Run, I wasn't using video at all. I didn't want to help video. Just there was nothing. Even though I had these video skills, I could edit and all of that kind of stuff, and I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to show up. So I still had visibility issues around showing up. So even if you've got the skills, it doesn't always mean that you want to show up all the time.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Did that only show up in not doing video, or was that stopping you marketing, stopping you on social media? Was it
video? It was just video.
Video.
Yeah, it was just video. And part of it is because sometimes you feel like a wally recording yourself.
Yeah.
Like a quick selfie is fine, but the minute you start doing video, it's a weird thing. And so I did get over it eventually, and I started doing a lot of Facebook Lives. But still, I would do heaps of Facebook Lives into my community, but very few outside of the community. So my marketing was really strong to the people that already knew me. And then outside of that, it wasn't so much. So, these were things that I kind of learned over time. And then I started doing more, I had some issues with when I started to do business coaching, I was like, where do I shoot stuff in my house? Because I've got a tiny 2-bedroom flat. I've got a 7-year-old. It's full of crap, it's full of plastic shit all over the place, and I don't have a backdrop that looks good. And I was using that as an excuse forever.
Yeah, I see. People always, it's the first thing people ask me is like, what backdrop or how do I get my logo on it? I'm like, you don't need those things. You do not need, especially the logo. But yeah.
Excuse for such a long time. And just recently, like, I've got a mirror behind me here, which you can see.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time, I was like, oh, I can't do it with a mirror in the background. And so, you know, I do some of my more kind of Zoom type stuff here because the lighting's good and I've got my Mac and all of that.
Yes.
But when I'm recording videos for programs, I have another area of my flat, which is literally just over there. And I've got a backdrop that I put up and some really good lighting. And I can produce quite high quality videos with very small budget. So,
yeah.
And small space, I can pack all that away and it goes away. So
I just show people, so mine is exactly the same as yours. I've seen your backdrop. Just gaffer taped to a undecorated room because I was going to decorate it in lockdown. But yeah, literally, it's just.
But we can use this
quid.
Right? We use a lot of this stuff as excuses. Once I've got my studio up, then I'm like, oh, what else can I make?
Yeah.
You know, and also when I've done my hair and makeup, I'm like, right, I'm on a roll. You know. But for me, I love that variety. So when you go on my social media, you get the mix of the slightly more professional, slightly more slick. And then you get me just out the shower doing a live, you know, often because I still do a lot of exercise, it'll be after a race or after a CrossFit session where I'm sweaty and just myself. And I love that juxtaposition of like vulnerable me and more presentable me, you know, so that people get to see the real you.
Yeah, definitely.
You're afraid of the more vulnerable side.
So you said before you had an issue promoting outside your group. I'm sensing that is no longer a thing and that you use video in your group to talk to your tribe and teach them, but you're also using it to attract new members in.
Yeah. So I made a big decision last year because I had one foot in one camp and one in the other, and people were getting really confused over what is Julie doing? Is she still running 2 Factor Run? Is she business coaching? What is she doing? And I was getting really triggered by other. I just didn't have the confidence that I now have, and I wanted to make a big stand. I wanted to like go, right, this is me. And when I thought about it, I started scribbling down what I wanted to say about the online world, and a poem came out. It just started rhyming, and I was like, oh my god, there's a poem there. And I spoke to a filmmaker that I knew, and I said, I've got this poem, I've got this idea for a spoken word piece that would be a video. And obviously I can't shoot it myself because that would just be too difficult. And she was somebody that I really trusted. And so we did this collaboration where I made a video called Is There a Different Way? And it was all about entrepreneurs and the online world and how much fakery there is. And it was shot. So I wrote the video, I chose the locations, and then the filmmaker who had an assistant, we shot it in a day and a half. And that video was just, I love it. I'm in love with that piece of video. I'm really proud of it. And I think it did make people stop and go, actually, she's not mucking about with this stuff. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's investing properly in video. And I've been able to repurpose a lot of the, you know, I've used the poem on a stage in Germany where I did it live. I've cut little segments of that video. I can use the audio. It's that one piece, which was a bit of an investment, but that will be with me probably for the next 5 years without me getting bored of it because of the way I can use the B-roll and stuff like that. And so I can't do that high quality stuff all the time because I just don't have the brain power for it. But it has made me realize there is a middle ground, which is more about me using some of the skills that I have around storyboarding what I want to do and shooting B-roll and making more of an effort of my locations. Like, so for me, it's not a skill gap, it's an effort gap. I'm lazy when it comes to video. So I'm really excited. Like, I feel that there will probably be another spoken word piece in the future, but not yet. I'm still in love with the other one. But I think as a I don't know, as a strategy, video is so disruptive because it's so vulnerable. You can't hide on video.
Yes,
you know, so I do love video. I should do it more. I'm quite lazy when it comes to video.
You're on a video now. You're all good. Yeah, you're embracing it. And I saw your. So I'm going to say quick and easy video, but because it wasn't, you didn't have a film expert in, but promoting your challenge.
Yeah.
I was going to say the other thing about it being difficult. I love the work that people like you do. So your challenge is about nailing your niche. So I kind of wish everybody who ever came to me had gone through that process, because lots of people, they want to. So I would recommend not investing in a big video unless you're so clear on, because you said you're going to love yours for 5 years, but there's a danger. We've done it in the company I work for. You do something and then you change. Like, think of all the people pivoted in lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things we're going to explore on the Now Your Niche challenge, because it's the same for me. People come to Tribe Builder and they're not really sure what they want to build a tribe around. And I'm like, let's start from basics. We need to know what's the one thing you want to be known for, and it's not forever, but it's at least for the next 12 months.
Yes, you've got to stick at it.
Yeah, putting some roots down and going, this is what I want to be known for, so that you can communicate that over and over again so people get it. But yeah, so the little promo video I made, just did that in my front room.
Yeah.
Good lighting, really good script. I try to do things in one take, so I don't have to do loads of editing. Again,
definitely.
Quite late.
I was just doing the editing set. So my course runs through editing, but I've prefaced it with, please don't do editing. Like, editing is where video goes to die. So yes, I'm going to teach you how to do it, but please don't do it. Apart from, I do love putting pictures at the beginning and the end, just to brand it. But that's it. I'm like, nothing else, please.
Yeah, I'm the same. And the interesting thing is, I know how to use all the big programs. I know how to use all the big editing programs. I do most of my editing on my phone, on a phone app.
It's got to be sustainable and quick, hasn't it? It's got to be repeatable, because you can do this massive thing, but then if you've got to do that once a week, you're just like, oh, nah.
I think the problem is like sitting at my desk. That's what it is. I just run my business from my phone. Like, then I'll be happy.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day, I'd like to just run my business just speaking all day. So I'm a speaker in a previous life. I've been a science presenter for 15 years. And it's like, can we just pay me to just speak all day, please? Okay, so going back. Oh, so sorry. I just thank you for your comment, Bronwyn. Hello to you too, if you're still there. Anybody else, if you've got any questions for Julie about Tribe Builder, about her running club or anything, just pop them in the comments. Right, so my next question for you. Can you remember the first time you ever made a video in those early days, and how did you feel? I know you touched on it a bit, that for ages you didn't feel confident enough to show up on video at all.
Yeah. I tell you, I made a video that I loved when I was at university. So I'm born in East London, spent most of my life in East London. I had 3 years where I went to Winchester to do my degree. And Winchester is very different to London. And I felt really disconnected from my roots. And so when I got to my final year project, I wanted to do something that was about the culture of East London. And so my final year project was a dance project. And because we'd done this one module that was like how to use film in your drama, I was like, I'm going to make a film as well as this, And so what I did was I made, God, if I had the footage now, it'd probably be really cringy. But at the time, I thought it was quite edgy. And I made this kind of montage of East London scenes and stuff like that. And so my final year project was a dance piece with a backdrop of video. And at the time, like I graduated in 2000, so it's 20 years ago.
Yeah, so early doors. It
was groundbreaking. I got a first-class degree off the back of just putting video at the back of my, and everyone was like, God, they always remember it. I remember your dance piece. It was so powerful, but it was shoddily recorded. I can remember being in the back of my brother's, I think he had this beat down Astra, filming stuff out of the window and just montaging it all together. But I was really proud of that. I was really proud of being able to encapsulate an idea, take East London to the people of Winchester. And it really made me feel like that's where I'm really interested in, is the mix of different ideas, different disciplines, where they meet together, where you can use something from an advert. So I do this with my clients all the time. Often when they do boring videos, I'll say, like, look at TV ads for inspiration. Use your GCSE drama skills to be a bit more animated. because as consumers, we recognize those things that we see on TV all the time. And so if you can take a concept from one industry and bring it into yours, it just makes it much more easy for people to go, oh, I get it. That's fun, that's interesting, that's disruptive, rather than the boring stuff. I'm like, this is who I am and this is what I do, and yawn. So for me, that video, even though it wasn't of me, it showed me, if that makes sense.
And I can feel running through your stuff that your roots and your accent and your London, you have a London vibe, and your viral video, I'm going to call it viral, I know you need 5 million, but who cares? They show your background. So I think video for you is really helping to get that full package across. That accent, your roots, your urbanness is not going to come through in your written text, is it? So it's just helping show the whole of you. Katrin's got a question. This is in my interview later, but we'll just do it now in case Katrin's still watching. So we're focusing quite a lot on video content for kind of like standout marketing. So but you also use video, I'm guessing, to speak to your tribe in your tribe and to teach. Yeah. So what would be your top tip for creating, you can do both of those things. What would be your top tip for creating video content, both for the outside marketing and the inside connection pieces?
Sure. So I feel like collecting B-roll can be really helpful.
Can you just, that's not a common word, so can you just tell me what B-roll means for the audience?
Yeah, if you were going out and shooting a movie, you'd shoot the main scenes, and then you would shoot something called B-roll, which is like pickup scenes. So it's like it's the footage that would help to show what location you were in. Or so if I wanted to make a video on the go, I might do a video of me on the go, but then I might do the train station sign. I might do some cars going past. I might do a dog running around the corner. And all it does is it gives you opportunity, particularly if you need to edit, to rather than going from me to me, I might go me to the dog, back to me again. So the B-roll is just interesting footage that you put in a folder somewhere and you might use it at a later date. So that's what B-roll is.
And people, sorry, I was gonna say, you can, so I don't use the word B-roll, but now I know what we're talking about, I'm all over it. But yeah, people can start collecting that now, so they can start getting footage of them. If they're speaking on stage, try and get a little clip. If you can get an audience flash, get that and just put them all in a folder for later on, and just like have a bank of stuff.
Yeah, and also you can construct some of that. So recently, or not recently, about, I don't know, 8 months ago, I spoke in Frankfurt, and I happened to have a friend with me, and I said, can you film me getting mic'd up? So she grabbed my phone, filmed me getting mic'd up by the audio guy, and she filmed me going onto stage. So you had the black backdrop, me going across, and I'll use that in my show reel at some point. So you can construct in your head the kind of footage that you might need, and you can preempt that. So I think that's a top tip. The other thing I think for getting consistency is finding a time in your day where you consistently do video. So for me, it used to be the school run. I used to take my daughter to school, and on the way back, I'd do my Facebook Live. Like, it was just a bit of my day that was empty. I hate the school run, so it was just easy to do. And so,
I hear you. Although now I might like it just for a change of scene.
Yeah.
The first 3 I'll like.
We actually did the school run the other day. We walked down there just for memory's sake, but yeah.
Sorry, I distracted you there. So choosing a point of your day that is like dedicated for making the lives.
Yeah. And then the other thing I say is, just so you don't waffle, is just anytime you go on, I rarely do really constructed scripts, but what I do, I have just notes. What are the 3 points? So I'll do, what do I want to say as an opener? What are the 3 points, and what's the call to action? And you can use that with your clients and your client groups, outside, because otherwise people's attention span is so small. It's like you've got 3 seconds to get people's attention. Otherwise they'll switch off, even the people in other groups,
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the structure I teach. Intro, 3 points, call to action. Yeah. Okay. Fabulous. I was going to say something. Oh, I can't remember. I just about the constructing. So yeah, so I run this science show company, and if we tell people to get these footage, they're like, I haven't got time. And it's like, you have to make time. So when you're saying construct, essentially same as fake. So you weren't walking up onto the stage, because when you are walking up on the stage, you're thinking about 1,000 things. So you kind of have to just, and it's still authentic, but just to say, can you just, and I do that. So the interview yesterday afterwards, I was like, can we just grab a screenshot? Because I didn't have time, because I'm like looking at my phone, sharing, putting these on. Afterwards, I'm like, take a deep breath. Can we just grab a screenshot so I can use that in my social media?
Allowing yourself, I think I made a video last year about this. This is going to make it sound like I'm a right jet setter, but I was on a beach in San Diego. I've been to this conference and I had one day left before flying home. I think I had about 8 hours. So I said to the taxi driver, where can I go that's going to be fun, where I can store my suitcase? And he went, I've got just the place. And he took me to this hotel where Marilyn Monroe used to go, on this beach in San Diego. And I got out of the cab and the hotel took my bag and I just went to the beach. And there were these beautiful American beach huts. There were all this beautiful stuff. And I was like, I've got to get some film of this. But I had this little niggle in my head that went, you know, you're going to look like a weirdo setting up your tripod. You're going to look like a weirdo, you know, and all of that. And I was like, no, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to get this footage. And I will kick myself if I don't do it. If I get back in that cab and I haven't shot the videos I wanted to and got the B-roll footage and all of that kind of stuff. And you have to get out of that that discomfort and go, I'm not doing it for everybody else. These people that I'm never going to see again, I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for my followers and the people that I'm going to be teaching with this material.
I drive my husband mad because I will like get my kit out and not care at all. So my daughter's a gymnast, she's a Welsh gymnast, and I'm the only parent. I've got my tripod set up. I'll take B-roll footage or just of them like, oh, can I just film you doing your hair? And he's like, Becky, and I'm like, no, this is not for marketing, but it's like, I can never capture this age of her again. So, and I don't care now. You can see me with my tripod and people are like, what's she doing? I'm like, I don't care. It's fine, because what I want to do is bigger.
Yeah, I do this with my daughter as well. So, you know, I made a little video when she was 1 of all these special little moments, you know, with B-roll footage, with, you know, and so it's not just about business. You can capture little moments in a slightly different way by always thinking like a filmmaker.
Okay, cool. Bronwyn's got a question. Do you recommend going live every day? Did you find this helped grow your audience connection with people? And this is a lot of questions. And what's your favorite platforms to put your videos, please? So shall we start with the first one? Do you recommend doing a live every day?
I think if you are not used to doing lives, it can be a really good way of getting over your fear. So you can say, right, the month of July, I'm committing to doing a month of lives. And then you can tell people, look, I'm doing this month of lives. Some of them will be good, some of them won't. And you take the pressure off of you. I don't go live every day. I wish I did. I don't. And sometimes it's because my confidence is low. Sometimes I've got nothing to say. Like, there's a range of reasons why I don't go live. I probably should, and it probably would help me to grow my audience faster. But I try not to do things that I should do in my business. I show up, definitely, feel like I want to.
Yeah, Bronwyn, don't let it be another noose to hang yourself with. So I recommend doing whatever you can keep consistently. And video is not the be all and end all. There's still a place for graphics and tests. Video will get you everywhere faster. Yeah. But if you can't maintain it, you'll feel terrible. And then don't let that. So just do whatever you can. And Bronwyn, don't say sorry for all the questions. It's all, I won't flash that up, but don't worry, it's all cool. So we're saying that would help. But not necessarily to do it at that frequency. So what is your favorite platform to put your videos on?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I put them on YouTube. I don't have a big following on YouTube, but it's a
great... where are you using? Is your tribe is Facebook, is it?
Yeah, mainly Facebook is where I use video. Yeah. I mean, I have most of my videos up on YouTube just because people sometimes go and check you out there. And I probably should focus more on a strategy for YouTube, but
no shoulds.
Exactly. But yeah, I like doing video and putting that into groups. I mean, I like to infiltrate other people's groups with video, and I know that sounds like a really negative, aggressive thing, but it's not. If you're adding value and you're showing other people how to show up, and you're inspiring people, then it's not just about take. It's about giving into that group too.
So Bronwyn, I know lots of people that are very successful just using Facebook. Obviously, I don't look at YouTube. I mainly use it like you. My videos are there as a storage depot, but they are the same thing. But wherever you're hanging out is where I'd be putting your videos. So if you're a heavy YouTube user, I'd be using YouTube. If you're a Facebook, I'm like you, Julie, Facebook groups. But that's not to say that's the only way. There are so many ways, and it's just picking one and then going with it. Like, I know people who use LinkedIn, but you get 10 minutes of video, so that wouldn't be enough for me. This is already, how long is this now? 30 minutes, and I'm quite happy to sit here all day. Right, thank you for your questions, Bronwyn. If anybody else has got any, chuck them up. Right, do you have any stories about things went wrong, or you tried something and it failed?
I don't know, I've got some pretty rubbish videos out there. Like, sometimes I come across things and go, oh, that needs to come down. That's not very good.
Do you take them down?
Sometimes, not always. And actually, I put a really old video into one of my groups the other day to show them how bad my videos used to be. Because I think that's helpful. Because sometimes people look at your shiny stuff and go, oh my God, I could never be like you. And I'm like, oh, go and have a look at the old ones I used to do.
Yeah.
And
it's the journey.
Yeah, I do keep them up on my YouTube thing for people to go and have a look at. I'll tell you a really funny thing. So I often use my daughter in videos, particularly in my fitness business, because everyone knows her. And one summer holiday, I was like, right, I'm going to do a series of videos about how to keep the kids occupied while you're trying to work out. And I'd set the camera up at CrossFit and gone for this run and thinking I'd be able to speed it up and whatever. And when I got back, I was really excited that I would have this footage. And when I got home, she'd fiddled with the camera and the camera had gone like that. So all that was the concrete. And I was just like, oh, you little cow, you know. So it's just things like that. You can't always rely on the footage. Like, things happen, you know.
Right at the beginning of lockdown, I worked with a play group, and they wanted to film their physical sessions and put them all on video. It was great. But 2 days in, we started to just look back, and they kept knocking the mute button on the microphone. So there was a 30-minute session. So they knocked it, and I was just like, oh my God, we were losing the will to live, because it was perfect, but not captured. So I'm like, gonna have to do it again. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so sound check. Always do a sound check when you, although that sounds like your situation or my situation. A sound check's not going to help that, is it?
You just have to recognize that. Oh, and the other thing that happens that really winds me up, I still don't learn my lesson, is when I'm shooting a video and I've forgotten to turn my phone onto airplane mode.
Yeah.
And my sister, and I'm like, I was just at the end. I was going to do it in one take. Yeah. So, you know, even the people that know what to do sometimes forget, and it's just part and parcel of the process. It's annoying at times.
Yeah. And there's a lot to get good at. You've got to get used to the tech, the confidence to sit down and do it, the presenting. You've got to have your business message, like, know what you're talking about. So I think you can be, people watching, be more forgiving, just start where you are.
Yeah.
Send a video to your nan saying, hello, miss you, to get the practice.
I think people really appreciate vulnerability. Some of my best videos are the ones where I come on with no hair and makeup, particularly in my running business. And these are genuine. When I've really got the hump, when really crappy things have happened, I will jump on to explain what's happening. And before I know it, I'm in tears, and like ugly tears, sobbing tears. And, you know, it's great for business because everyone's like, oh my God, you're doing such a good job. And they just see all sides of you. So I think I'm probably more vulnerable in my running business than I am in some of my other businesses, just because they've known me for longer. Like, my blog's 10 years old. So it's like a
decade. Yeah.
Grow in that community. But I just think people really appreciate when you say, look, this is new to me. It's not going to be perfect. And then, like, it's fine. We can't all be great at everything.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's no need to, is there? In a running business, you've got to focus on the transformation from not feeling included in running to feeling included in running. It's not your job to be pretty or hair done or any of that rubbish. It's lucky you have the skills and you can choose to do that, but they don't need that. They just need to feel included.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. What else have we got? Like, what difference does it make to you in your business? What does video give you? So again, that could be the marketing videos, but it could be the doing Zoom calls, the doing modules by video.
Yeah, I think the modules by video, I mean, once I cracked that, I can come up, because I'm an ideas person, I come up with an idea, I'm like, I can knock that course out in an afternoon. So, you know, when you get over the perfectionism thing, you know, my last program, I did an entry point program called Kickstart Your Tribe Builder, Kickstart Your Tribe Building. I got the idea on the Monday. By Friday, we were having an opening ceremony with 50 small business owners, and all the videos were shot. So that was like 5 days, you know, program making me money, new people into my. So it just gives you a way of connecting to people and packaging up your content in a really good way. Because most of us are experts. We've got our expertise and our content in our head. Where we sometimes fall down is not being able to articulate it, or second guessing ourselves, like, oh, but it's got to be more than that. People need more. No, they just need the stuff, you know, because they don't know it. And so video is a really easy way. If you just let your video run and you talk to people like you were down the pub with them, teaching them something, like, and you get away from all of the other stuff that you think you need, you know, you can make a lot of money online from some quite shoddy stuff, you know, if the message is what people need to
hang on. Yeah, if it gives them that transformation.
Absolutely. It's always about the transformation. The packaging is nice. The packaging can help with credibility, but it's not necessary. It's not always necessary.
And I do believe as well, some niches you don't need credibility, so some you do. Like that, I think that's the difference between the running and the tribe building, is you do need a tad of credibility now, but I'm sure you have loads, and again, it's just capturing it for these videos. Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. So, and I just want to pick up on a point as well, that you've done that, you spoke about that course, you did it, but I feel like people think that video is such a permanent thing. Like if they do that, that's forever, but it's not. You can make a new video the next month. Yeah. You could take it down and get it better. You could never use it again. But I think people think, oh, once I've done that and nailed my flag to the mast, I then can't do anything else. But you can. You just create a new one.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And so Tribe Builder, I think I'm on my 3rd set of videos for Tribe Builder, because the program's evolved, and I'm a massive believer in piloting things and taking your time to really set it in stone. And
that's 18 months. So three versions of video tutorials in 18 months. Yeah.
And I've only just pinned down my branding. And that's partly why I haven't pinned down my videos, because it's like chicken and egg. I wanted to feel into my brand. And now that I've got that done, I'll probably work with a filmmaker to help, you know, because that's the other thing, is it takes a lot of endurance to shoot your own videos, set things up, take it, look at it. Like, it's just back and forward. And so if you can find somebody to help you, it does make it a little bit easier, even if it's just them framing you and pressing stop and go. Like, you can get through a lot more stuff with somebody directing you. Like, not everyone has that, but it is, you know, people often will say, oh, I've got a day to do my videos, and they think they can do 8 videos in a day.
Yeah,
you can. God, you'll be exhausted by the end of it. You know, and the more you start tripping over your words, the more annoyed you get with yourself, and then the longer it takes. So I think we need to acknowledge that it is a process, and it's a little bit trying at times, but the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Definitely. So can I just ask, so when you said you pre-record your courses, do you use somebody to press go for that and frame you, or do you do them by yourself?
I've been doing them by myself, but I feel like I will probably, for the next one, now that I've got my brand in, and now that I really know my Tribe Builder program inside out and what people need and what they don't need, I'll probably script it. I'll probably get an auto cue, and only so that I can just say, right, that's that now. Tribe Builder's done. I can move on to other things. Yeah. But that's my process. I test things for a while to see whether I even want to run them in the long term, you know.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Right, so we've actually done top tips for video, unless you've got another one you're burning to share with us, because we answered for Katrin. Whilst Julie's thinking, if anybody's got any questions or comments, write them down. We've still got a little bit of time, so we can put them to Julie. So go on, one more top tip.
I love filters.
I
love a good filter. Like if my hair is greasy and I don't feel that good, I'll just have like a black and white filter on.
I'm going to put one on right now for me because I think I've got it set up. Is it going to work? Oh,
there we go. Look at that. Look at
I think I look like a rabbit with my white teeth, but
so, like obviously with the with all of the technologies that's available out there, all of the mobile phone apps, your TikTok, your Snapchat and all of that, you can go absolutely bonkers with filters. So and you can have a lot of fun and you can do really kind of fun disruptive things on social media. But when it comes to my materials, a very simple filter throughout all of your videos can make them look cohesive. So even if they're shot on different days, maybe even in different outfits or whatever, a filter can make there be consistency across the videos. And then my other top tip is to have a video wardrobe. So this top is part of my video wardrobe. It's my go-to. So many of my videos are shot in this top because I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry if it's got a stain on it. I don't have to worry if it's crinkled. It's just an easy top. It's not going to distract too many people. Yeah. I've also got a set of t-shirts that are 5 different colors, and so I've done programs where each day is a different color t-shirt, and it just, I don't know, it's one less, it's consistency. Like if you was on a film set, there'd be somebody there making sure everything was consistent.
Yeah, I have not today because I'm feeling the lockdown like non-uniform Thursday, but I usually have a set of necklaces and just wear a V-neck with a cute necklace to, yeah. But at the moment the hair's all long and it's just getting away from me. I saw as well. So I watch videos of people giving video advice, and it's something I hadn't thought about before. So I use a light all the time, and he said, "Oh, use a light because it gives you consistency, so I always look the same." I'm not saying this is important for anybody starting out, but if you want to put a course modules together. But yeah, so I could have my windows there and different light, but then we're in Wales, it rains all the time. So so having my setup is consistent, so every time. But yeah, again, that's something for way down the line. You can get good first at the speaking and showing up, and then tweak all the little bits that give the consistency later. Okay, well, thank you, Julie. I just checked, we haven't got any more comments, but keep them coming if you want to ask anything. So tell us, if people have enjoyed listening to you, want to find out more about you, where can they go? I'll just say as well, I have put the comment that you're going to talk about in whoa, no, that's not the right one. Okay, I'll go amend that. That's completely wrong one. You talk about it and I'll sort that out for you.
Sure. So it's relatively easy to find me online because my surname is quite unusual. So if you search Julie Creffield, that's the name of my website, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all of those places. But yeah, I'm running a free Nail Your Niche challenge, which starts, doors open tomorrow, and then we start next week. It's all about that very first step of getting really clear on who you are, so that when you're doing your videos, when you're doing everything else, it's really clear and people just get it.
Cool, thank you. I thought I'd saved the link to put. I haven't, but I'll go back and add it later. But yeah, I would definitely recommend. So for anybody who wants to do any marketing and video, you will be held back until you nail that niche. So I was there forever, just like going around in circles because I didn't know whether I wanted to work in speaking or marketing or video until I decided and hung my hat up on it. Then that's where I got a coherent message for me.
The thing is, you can still do all of those things under a niche.
Yes.
You know, so many of us say, "Oh, but I don't want a niche because I like doing this and I like doing that," and I like just choose a niche that enables you to do all of those things that you enjoy. You know, the niche is only there for people to understand what it is you do.
Bronwyn said, Erin's saying this is so interesting and useful. Thank you, Erin. Bronwyn says that was very interesting. Thanks both. You're both in my mailbox, and it's nice to get to know you better via this video. Thank you, Bronwyn. Yes. So I'm going to go find that link. Oh, do you have it handy, Julie? You could.
Now your niche one.
Yeah.
Where do I put it? In the live comments?
Oh, can you? Yeah, if you can.
No, I don't think I can. I can put it over to you.
Yeah, put it over to me in the private chat. I haven't used the private chat before, Julie.
I'm loving the this piece of software.
I love it too. And what I will say to anybody watching is the learning curve of this software is hardly anything. It's dead easy.
Yeah.
Annette says, join partway through, but lots of great tips and ideas. Thanks. No worries, Annette. Private chat. Here's my secret message. I bet. Right. So there we go. So now in the comments, you can whiz away and join Julie's challenge, which I highly recommend. It's just going through. Okay. Now, thank you very much, Julie. That it's been amazing because every other person we spoke to is using I don't know how to word it, but video just straight up, just grabbing a phone, going live to great success. So it's lovely to speak to somebody who's using it at that level, but then at a bigger level as well. So that's great because there's hundreds of ways to swing a cat, just whatever. And I love that you're creative, so that if it's really harnessing that part of your personality, isn't it, to make more structured videos as well. Jay says, we'll catch up as I joined in late. No worries. Yeah, that's the beauty of video. We can watch this video for years to come. So if anybody's been inspired to get using video, you can check out my challenge. That comment is already up because I didn't get that one wrong. Sorry, Julie. And I am looking at how to come up with content ideas, how to make it feel easier. So as you can see, me and Julie feel easy to jump on the camera. I want to give that to everyone. So I'm doing a day on that. And then a third day, mine's a masterclass series rather than challenge. But the third day, we are looking at how it's not just for your social media. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and you can use it to work with your tribe, create online courses, etc., etc. So jump on that. Mine is exactly the same time as Julie's. Mine starts Tuesday for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, challenge week for us next week, Julie.
No pressure.
Here we go. Erin's put Julie's up. Thank you, Erin. That's because she's in the MLC, Julie. The MLC are the nicest. But that's Lisa Barry's stuff, if you want to go check out her. And I interviewed her Tuesday. Thank you, Erin. Lovely. Right, we shall say goodbye, Julie. If you stay there, though, then we can I can say thank you, hand you some virtual flowers. No, there's none of them. Right, so bye, everybody. And I'm interviewing Chanel Morales tomorrow. She is awesome. That's 2 p.m. She is a digital nomad, is her group, and she world schools her child while teaching women to run businesses from their computers. And not in the way like you can have a 6-figure business, like she'll literally is doing it and is teaching it. It's a real thing. Right, so Chanel tomorrow at 2. Right, bye, everybody.
Bye.